Hey, it's Biddy Penny. Welcome back to my channel. Today I am making a project. I'm starting a project. I am using some Michael's Hot Buy paper pads. I grabbed 6 sheets per file folder journal that I'm making. These are a craft fair project. You guys, I'm going to be making a craft fair project every month on my channel this year, building up my stash so that when a craft fair comes available, I have plenty already made. So that is one of my crafty goals. I am joining Debbie over at Project 39 Mini Albums along with a few other awesome crafters, and we are sharing our crafty goals with you this year. Okay, so I got this tutorial from my PIC, my partner in crime, which is Letty, over at Party Planner Papery. It is just hilarious that I used to do this for my junk journals, but I never thought of just making a whole journal like this before until I saw her making her Crafty Goals planner for this year. And I thought, oh, that would be a great craft fair project. So I'm going to leave it linked below. I want you to go watch it and she'll give you all the instructions. I'm just kind of playing around here, but with non-directional paper, you can just score and fold like this. With directional paper, I did have to cut off the bottom and I will have to glue that back on. So I'm still scoring it. I'm going to score this bottom file pocket part that I will have to glue back onto this page. I think I go ahead and glue it here, but this is not when you want to glue it. And then I'm going to use this punch to cut out a thumb hole. I found that thumb holes can be really interesting just depending whatever punch you use. You don't have to use a round one. And then she has a hack for using hers. Now you do have to glue this one on 3 sides, the bottom and then the 2 edges. But you don't do it just yet. Again, go watch Letty's video. Okay, so this is kind of what the journals are going to look like. Now, this paper is thick, you guys, and so it's kind of bulging down at the bottom, but that's okay. Like, I know when they're in my totes, so I store my craft fair items in totes, and I just put them away, and I know that I can store them in a way that'll help flatten them over time. I'm taking my bookbinding thread, which is just a waxed thread, and I'm measuring it 3 lengths of the book. I like a healthy, good 3 lengths because on these I want to add charms. Okay, so for these little books, I'm doing 6 pieces of 12 by 12 paper. I'm doing 3 with patterns and 3 plain, like coordinating plain colors. Because all the paper pads I'm finding on the market now, for the most part, well, the ones I buy, have coordinated plain paper in them. So I'm just finding a way to make it work so I can use up the paper pads. I'll tell you, I'm doing a 3-hole pamphlet stitch. If you start your stitch from the outside, you're going to end on the outside. If you start your stitch from the inside, you will end on the inside. So when you are stitching your little book together, you always want to know kind of where you got to start knowing where you want to end. So in this case, I want to add charms and I want them to be on the outside of the little journal booklet. And so that's what I did. And you'll see I have really long threads left over, which is exactly what I wanted as well. And I just love that. I think these journals would be ideal for teachers, for church friends, for just about anybody. They could keep different things in them. I just think they're great. And there are no journaling pages. I'll have to figure out a name for them. If you can think of a clever name for these little books, leave it in the comment down below, in the comments down below. Okay, you guys, I am going to decorate these with the ephemera that came in the paper pad. It came with 3 sheets of the same ephemera. So I took 2 of them, cut them out, and I'm going to use those. Now that Welcome Spring, I'm actually leaving out. That's the only piece of ephemera I'm not using because I don't want this only to be a spring themed book. But I have a goal of making 10 to, let's say, a baker's dozen, 13 each month of whatever item I'm making. I want to make at least 10 for a craft fair. And I'd like to have a few extra because it's nice to have a few things on hand when you want to give a gift to someone and you don't have time to craft, you need it on the fly. So that's why I'm saying a baker's dozen. It'd be nice to have like 3 extra that I can have made up. Now, I tore that page, but I'm going to show you how I fix it later. I'm going to keep decorating because when you're mass producing, doing all the same steps at the same time on each project makes it faster. So score all your paper at once, bind all your books at once, decorate all at once, and it really speeds the process up. Now, because I had ordered my pages in different patterns, I'm using different pieces of ephemera, but I'm kind of going through the books at the same rate. So I'm kind of evaluating like where I might want things and deciding which pieces of ephemera. I am finishing up these 2 with you guys on camera today because maybe this is a project you'll want to give a go this month. I will come back on the 1st of February. I will show you all the ones that I made. We'll do a recap. And then I'll show you what I'm working on in February. Sorry, I think I have a frog in my throat, which is perfect for a voiceover. It's what every YouTuber wants, let me tell you. Okay, so yeah, I'm just randomly turning pages. Now, I'm not going to get too far in the weeds of decorating these little things because I'm planning on selling them for about $7 each. That's the number I have in my head right now. I should probably just go ahead and say 10 for inflation because everyone else is hiking up their prices. Gosh. No, but I think $7 works. I got the Hot Buy paper pads for $5 each. I'm not using a whole pad. I mean, by the time I make 13 of them, I will probably have used 2 pads of paper, so $10, but if I'm charging $7 each, I'll definitely get my money back on my materials. And then the rest is just for labor, which it'll work. I'll figure it out. How do I figure it out? I figure out how much I want to make per hour and how long it takes to make the project and divide it all up and usually have to reduce it greatly. Okay, so that's my pricing tip for you. Don't do what I do. You just do what you want to do when it comes to pricing the projects that you make. But I just love the way these turned out. And if I decorate it lightly, hopefully maybe that'll inspire someone else to decorate it even more. And I love this little carrot image. I don't know how many people would, but I certainly do. So another way I'm going to decorate these is, do you have any project life cards laying around that need a life? You know what I mean? Tired of them sitting in boxes? Me too. I'm going to use some to decorate these albums. So I am making 13. I'm going to make some for Christmas or Christmas themed, and then the rest will just be fun, generic. Now, these little things just don't want to stay shut. And I know if I train them, then they will, but I'm going to go ahead and make closures for them. So I'm just snipping and ripping this nicely ironed fabric on my desk. My husband's great aunt, she was such a peach. I loved her. One time she was like, I just know you're the type that irons all your linen and curtains. And I was like, uh-huh, yeah. No way. Oh, I'll just never forget that. I don't know how I had her fooled, but it wasn't intentional. She was such a sweetheart. Okay, so this is too short. I just can't stand it when you can barely tie something, and that is just too short for me. I was trying to do 2 lengths because that fabric that I showed you guys is all I have. And this fabric is gone, and I wish I had more because I love this one. I've used it all up. Obviously, I love it. It's like mint green with polka dots. So I ended up having to use 3 lengths. I don't know how long they were. I didn't measure them. But I had to just knot them together, and now I have a nice size bow to tie this together. So that's going to be my closure. I like that it's not attached because this bow might drive somebody else bonkers, so they might want to just throw it in the trash. I don't know, but I'm gonna sell it like that first. I hope they don't throw it in the trash. Maybe they'll put it in their hair. I don't know. All right, I have all these scraps and I have these punches, and I'm going to make myself some charms for these journals. I love doing this, and I just love punches. They're so great. So I have this heart, which I got this at Hobby Lobby, and it wasn't that long ago. I'm trying to look on it to see if it has measurements, and no, it doesn't. Let me grab a ruler. And then the flower one I'm punching is from Stampin' Up! From ages ago. Ages and ages. Okay, so this is 1.5 inch heart for those who want to know. I have these little charms in my stash. So I'm adding a butterfly because both of these journals have butterflies. So I'm just going to add 1 butterfly on each journal of these little silver colored charms. And then with this paper, I just put the string down, add a whole heap of glue, way too much glue, lots and lots of glue, and then I'll add the other side of the heart. You really want something symmetrical like this, but also in the same breath, if you don't have something symmetrical like this little flower that I'm going to check and just double check, it's definitely not symmetrical. I think that's why they had to discontinue. Well, I mean, Stampin' Up! Discontinues everything, but that is one of the frustrating things because it has a coordinating stamp set, and lining this punch up with that stamp set is like water torture. I mean, it's ridiculous. So, but I love the punch and I love the stamp set. I just don't use them together. Oh boy. Are y'all ready for this? Okay, so here is the end. You've made it. And I just think these are great craft fair projects. So if you're a craft fair person, if you like to make and do craft fairs, I think this would be a really fun project. You can make it your own. Letty used hers in a completely different way, you guys. That's why you got to go watch her video, find out all the dimensions and all the details. I'll leave it linked down below. But I just think these would be great gifts. I will totally probably be giving this to my daughter's teachers on Teacher Appreciation. Now, on that one where I tore the page, I'm grabbing another scrap that matches the charm. And I'm just going to put a page tab on it, and no one will ever know unless they watch this video that page was torn. I just think it's the perfect fit. I did line the scrap up. I wanted the butterfly to kind of be in half like this. I thought that would be cute. And that page is done. Yeah, I could totally see this being a prayer journal, like where you add your prayers each month or something like that. Just a whole lot of fun. I hope you guys enjoyed this project and this project share. I will be back to show you everything that I make and to talk more about what some of my other crafty goals are this year. Thanks for watching.